Hey everybody, Darren Slaughter, DarrenSlaughter.com with a quick Friday video tip. A couple of weeks ago I put a question out to my newsletter audience and I asked, hey listen, I'm putting together a new contractor's guide to help you guys sell and market your businesses a little better. Are there any burning questions that you guys have that you want me to answer in the guide? And one of my longtime readers, Sam, came back with a great question, which is, what do you do when the client or the prospect says we need to think about it? Well, one of the things you do is you start to remove their ability to say I need to think about it very early on in the presentation. And what I mean by that is this. Instead of coming in, sitting down at their dining room table and throwing up your presentation all over their dining room, what you do is you engage them and you ask them a series of check-in questions through the presentation that gets little buy-ins, that gets them saying yes a lot. Yes, 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 instead of them thinking about the big fat no at the end of the presentation. And that kind of goes a little something like this. So, Mrs. Jones, if I hear you correctly, you'd like to get your kitchen redone by the end of June. Is that right? Well, yes, I would. And if I heard you correctly, you'd like to have a custom shade of blue, robin's egg blue for your cabinets. Am I right? Yes, that's right. Okay, great. And Mr. Smith, you'd like to make sure that you had a double sink with it in the island and the stove set up over here, whatever. Right? Yes. So now you get them saying yes, and you get them comfortable saying yes, and you remove all of the questions or concerns that they have throughout the presentation so that there is no need for them to say no at the end of the presentation. And if they still say no, if they still say, hey, listen, we need to think about it, then you probably haven't answered all of their questions. So you need to double back and you need to make sure that you've gotten everything that they've said or everything that they've requested or everything that they've said, they've emailed you, and you've answered all of their questions and all of their concerns. Because if they're not asking you a lot of questions, and if you haven't asked a lot of questions and you're not really sure where the presentation's going, or you're walking away from the presentation thinking it didn't go so well, it was only because you probably didn't answer the right question for them. So you got to get to that right question. But if you do that through a series of check-in questions throughout the presentation and get them saying yes, get them to where they're giving you an affirmative answer on the question that you're giving them, then you get them used to saying yes. And hopefully it removes the big fat no, or we need to think about it at the end. And that's it. Have a great weekend. Have a happy Father's Day for all you fathers out there, and we'll talk next week. Bye-bye.